Have you ever been told you just got to have faith? You just got to believe, whether it had to do with Jesus raising the dead or Moses parting the Red Sea? Now, if you read my books, Rapid Recovery from Back and Neck Pain and Vanquish Stress, you know I'm a scientific-minded guy, and I need to see some hard evidence. And you may be of the kind of person who says, well, faith is important, but again, I need something to calm my heart, to put assurance that, yeah, my faith is based on hard evidence and clear proof. Now, just think about this. The same God that gave us this brain, the ability to think, to reason, to examine claims, when He give us something that we can see ourselves today, touch it, and examine it for ourselves? And of course He has. Now, it would be nice if we were there when Moses parted the Red Sea or Jesus raised the dead. But since we're not there, God in His great wisdom gave an evidence to the last person He chose to bring His message to the world. The same message that been taught from the time of Adam through Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus. The same message of oneness of God, the Creator, and the one that we need to worship directly with no intercessors, no one in between. A one-to-one direct relationship. So to this person, 1,400 years ago, God gave a clear proof, hard evidence, a miracle you may say, that people of His time could witness and examine for themselves to see if His claim is valid. And we can see it today. Yes, today you can see it, you can examine it for yourself and decide for yourself if this is a divine miracle or a clear proof. What is this clear proof, this miracle? It is a book given to a man who was an orphan, grew up poor, who couldn't read and write, a book that's a masterpiece. And it challenges people that if you do not believe this book is a revelation from God, it is a miracle, produce just one chapter like it, even just 10 verses like it, and you will not be able to do it. You will never be able to do this. And this challenge was put forth to the people at the time to come up with a chapter that's as beautiful, as comprehensive, as complete, and no one was able to do it at that time, and no one has ever been able to do it. Now here's the interesting point. Because this revelation is from the Creator Himself, there are verses in there that people could never really fully understand, and we are understanding them in the light of modern science, whether it had to do with the expansion of the universe or the stage-by-stage development of an embryo on microscopic level. In fact, French medical scientist Dr. Maurice Bucaille or Dr. Keith L. Moore, world-renowned embryologist from University of Toronto, and other scientists who studied these verses have concluded that this book is a divine revelation from the Creator Himself. And you can study them for yourself. It's just amazing that these verses were present in this book that has been perfectly preserved since the time of its revelation. But one of the most amazing miracles of this book is that it completely transformed the people of its time. It brought so much peace, so much joy, so much contentment and certainty to their hearts. And it raised their self-esteem, increased their self-confidence to such a point that it liberated them from all kinds of addictions, including alcoholism, helped them get over racism, crime, broken families, economic injustice, social injustice. It did such an amazing job that renowned historian Arnold Toynbee commented that it was able to liberate people from racism, alcoholism in a way that no external law could have ever done. So this level of joy, contentment, assurance in the heart that leads people to leave addictions is something that those who like to keep people addicted do not like. That's why they spread a lot of lies, a lot of misinformation about this book. The last thing they want you to do is actually read it. However, there are millions who manage to get past the misinformation and the negative stories and discover the beauty and the wisdom of this book for themselves. Those include singers Cat Stevens and Sinead O'Connor, actors Lindsay Lohan, Will Smith, and Lily J., foreign correspondents Yvonne Ridley and Lauren Booth, author and ordained minister Dr. Gerald Dirks, former Dutch parliament member who wanted to ban this book, Joram Van Claveren, and author and activist Sean King. So as you can see, this book has a universal appeal because its message is from the Creator for all humanity. Now, the way I ended up reading this book is that my college roommate told me on the first day that if I didn't believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, I was going to hell. I didn't believe there was a life after death or hell or heaven, so I didn't really care about his warnings. However, I'm a person who loves to learn and grow, and I thought, I've never read the Bible. So I got a copy of the Bible, I started reading it, I started going to church, different churches. I started reading other books too. I said, why limit myself just to Bible? Let me read the Torah, let me read Bhagavad Gita, let me read the Quran, let me read teachings of Buddha, let me read the Book of Mormon. So as I was reading all these things, I also took a class in comparative religion, a college course. And out of all the world's major religions and their scriptures, only one book came out to be the one that's been perfectly preserved since the time of its revelation. And this was actually predicted in the book itself. It's been memorized from the time of its revelation until today by millions of people. In fact, there are millions of people around the world today have the entire book, more than 6,000 verses memorized. And again, it says in the book, it's easy to memorize. In fact, there are children who are 7 years old, don't even speak the language, have the entire book memorized. And that's one of the ways it's been preserved for 1,400 years. Now, you may be shocked to learn the name of this book is the Quran. And if you are, it's no surprise because, as I said, there are those who do not want you to experience true freedom and liberation. They like to keep people confused so they can control them. And the last thing they want you to do is to read this book. Now, the word Quran means reading and recitation. And by reading it, you'll discover the guidance that is for all humanity and in all aspects of life, and that really brings freedom and liberation. So I hope you get a chance to now or in the near future to read this book. Just remember, it will challenge you. It'll ask you to think, to consider, to ponder, to use your intellect and make informed decisions based on knowledge, based on hard evidence. No blind faith here. A wonderful translation of the Quran that's available on Amazon is The Clear Quran. Also, Oxford University Press has published an intimate look at the life of the Prophet Muhammad, and it's called In the Footsteps of the Prophet. And on YouTube, you can watch The Message, starring Anthony Quinn. That was a movie based on the life of Prophet Muhammad. And of course, you can find a lot of good information online about the Quran, about its uniqueness, its miraculous nature, its wisdom. And I hope all of that will help you get on the path to a life transformation, as it has happened for Cat Stevens, Yvonne Ridley, or Reverend Gerald Dirks. One tip I'd like to give you, and that is to ask the Creator himself, the one that gave us our life, the one that we meet after this life, for guidance. Say, I'm being sincere, I'm going to do the work, and it says if you start walking towards him, he will start running toward you. So just ask, say, please guide me, show me the way, and you'll be amazed the miracles that happen in your life. Hope this information was useful to you, and I will see you in the next video.